I stopped cooking for my husband after he said I should be grateful because he pays for the groceries. My husband Liam works in IT and makes significantly more than I do as a part-time bookkeeper. We've been married 5 years, and in that time, I've done almost all the cooking. Not because he can't cook, but because he says he doesn't like to. Fine, I do like cooking when it feels appreciated. A few weeks ago, Liam started tracking our expenses more aggressively because we're trying to save for a bigger house. He set up spreadsheets, budgets, charts, the whole 9 yards. I didn't think much of it. I figured he was just being organized. Then one night I told him I didn't feel like cooking. Work had been brutal, and I had a migraine starting. I asked if he could throw together something simple. Pasta, grilled cheese, literally anything. He sighed dramatically and said, "But we already spent $250 on groceries this week. I don't want it to go to waste." I said ordering takeout once wouldn't kill our savings. That's when he said it. "Well, I pay for the groceries. So can you just cook so the money isn't wasted?" I froze. I'd been cooking for him for years. Every dinner, most lunches, and all weekend meals. And now suddenly it was his money feeding, his groceries that I was supposed to manage for him. I didn't even argue. I just quietly got up, took my migraine medicine, and went to bed early. The next morning, I made myself cereal and left him a sticky note on the fridge. "Since the groceries are yours, feel free to cook whatever you want." He rolled his eyes when he found it. "Are you seriously starting something over one comment?" But I wasn't starting anything. I was simply withdrawing from a job I wasn't being appreciated for. For the next week, I cooked only for myself. If I made scrambled eggs, I made a single portion. If I made pasta, I packed the leftovers for my lunch. He'd come home from work and look around the kitchen, expecting dinner. When he realized I hadn't cooked for him, he'd heat up frozen burritos or eat cereal. By day 5, he was irritated. "Why aren't you cooking anymore?" he asked. "You said the groceries were yours," I replied. "I don't want to misuse what you pay for." "That's not what I meant," he snapped. "You're being dramatic." But I didn't stop. By the second week, he was clearly suffering. He'd been eating nothing but microwaved meals, and he came home one day complaining that lunch at work had cost him almost $18. "That's rough," I said. "Groceries are cheaper." He glared at me. The breaking point came when his sister came over for dinner. She walked in, expecting the usual big meal I always made for guests. But I was sitting at the dining table eating a bowl of leftover ramen. She asked what the plan was for dinner, and Liam looked at me desperately. I shrugged. "I'm just eating my food." His sister raised an eyebrow. Did you guys have a fight?" Liam looked embarrassed. After she left, he shut the door and finally said, "Okay, fine. I'm sorry. I shouldn't have said what I said. I didn't mean it like that." But I'd been thinking a lot in those 2 weeks. "It's not just the comment," I told him. "It's the attitude behind it. It made me realize you think of everything in this house as yours. Your money, your groceries, your decisions." He didn't deny it. He just looked away. I told him we needed to divide responsibilities fairly and separate finances. I'd pay half of groceries, but only for what we both use. I wasn't going to handle all the meals, all the meal planning, all the cleanup, just because I'm better at it. He asked quietly if I was planning to leave him. I told him I wasn't planning anything, but I was reevaluating everything. He's suddenly offering to cook, asking me what I want him to buy at the store, sending me Pinterest recipes like some kind of desperate 1950s housewife substitute. I'm still not cooking for him? Not until I see a genuine change, not a temporary guilt performance. For the first time in our marriage, he's realizing that appreciation isn't optional.